Hi, I'm Sturdy Thoughts and I've tried and failed at over 10 different businesses. Some might say that I've done well for myself. I'm 21 years old, a final year university student. However, many didn't know that I was bullied in school, I was on free school meals, my mum didn't have a job and my dad lives in another country, also without a job. So I spent years desperate, not just for money, but for respect. I also felt the urge to give back to my family. My mum, my dad, my nan, anybody who cared for me. However, I knew I had 4 years left of university before I was offered a graduate job that would pay me enough to survive. So I spent years, thousands of pounds and effort trying out different side hustles and learning lessons the hard way. And perhaps like some of you guys, the only thing I had to show at the end of it was a student bank account in overdraft and the stories and experiences that I can share in this video. So here's every single side hustle from A-level to university and the lessons it taught me not to chase money, but the person you want to become. At 16 during A-levels, I saw a friend showing off their trading charts in school and I thought it looked cool, so I decided to become a day trader. I convinced my dad to give me £100, set up an account for me and promised him that I would learn everything on day trading and give him half of every penny that I made. However, I was just giving him debt because I was losing money on contract for differences, CFDs, with no prior knowledge or network on how to make it work. It was pure trial and error, and if position went green, I was thinking I was a genius and it was a calculated move. If position was red, I had literally no idea why. Luck is not a strategy. I was checking my positions every day in class, hoping for the best rather than researching the market, which made it gambling, not investing. In my first year of university, I tried Shopify dropshipping. I saw a Google ad for a wireless charging lamp and I thought this is the coolest thing ever, so I found replicas on AliExpress and built a terrible website entirely by myself. I then put my hard-earned Nando's money into Google Ads without knowing anything about ads such as campaign budget optimization, where the algorithm automatically puts money into the best performing creatives in your ad set. So I was just watching my return on ad spend, my ROAS, drop to the floor. I didn't think about what does the buyer actually want and what problem does this product solve. I only liked the idea of wireless charging lamps, so I tried cheap urgency tactics such as 20% off for the next 2 days, but if your customer doesn't know why they want the product, they're not going to be bothered by a discount. You have to understand the psychology of the buyer. The goal of any business is to solve the customer's problem. Next, I tried dropshipping again, this time on Etsy. This was the first time I saw real money. I'd made over £10,000 in profit only by selling a friend's winning product, which was unofficial merchandise for artists such as The Weeknd and Gunna. I felt like that guy. I had an IT campus job making £11 an hour, but my Etsy store was printing 4 times that. And I would go home and manually fulfill 30 orders every single day. However, I was unfulfilled and I kept getting banned by Etsy. I had to buy second-hand burner phones and fake IDs from my friends. I had no control over the marketing, the fulfillment, or the platform itself. Revenue is great, but control is the real currency. I was a well-paid employee subject to Etsy, and I had the system, but I had no idea how to get it onto my own platform or run TikTok and Meta ads myself. I decided to try something new. My friend was really passionate about ticket reselling at the time because apparently he was making some of the easiest money of his life. So I woke up at 6 AM to join Ticketmaster queues from 4 different devices for artists that I didn't even listen to, such as Nicki Minaj, Drake, Travis Scott, Doja Cat. I was actually making some profit at first, but only based on the gut feeling of the friend who'd put me on. Then came an Offset concert. Not only did the artist not sell out, but I was still left with the 6 original tickets that I'd bought, watching them reduce the price of retail because they were underselling. I was getting stressed and losing my sanity and sleep for a few £100s of profits. I then realised if I can't decouple my time from my efforts, then I'm basically an employee of my own stress. I then tried something tangible. I found an Audi Q5 on Facebook Marketplace and flipped it for £3,000 profit. I used it to buy suits to elevate my style, and I learned so much about sales and market research. However, I didn't care about cars in the slightest, so moving on to the next thing. Alongside all these different side hustles, I never stopped posting. In year 13, I created my first faceless account because I was terrified of being judged. I was getting so many views, but nobody knew it was me. Plus, so anybody could steal my videos, I wasn't building trust, and my account could have gotten taken down with any time. What could I have done? Then I subtly and slowly started to post my face online. Maybe it's a computer science brain, or maybe I might have ADHD, I don't know, but I took a real systematic approach to posting rather than just posting. I built technical systems such as AI prompts to make my life easier, scripts templates and hook libraries, as well as mental prompts such as I needed to go to the gym every single day, every morning before I posted. Otherwise, I wouldn't post. Your face is a unique asset. Anybody can copy a winning product in dropshipping or a ticket flip, but nobody can copy you. Content creation gave me fulfillment. I was only focused on helping people by sharing my own experiences. And I've worked many jobs, from being a volunteer to a software engineer and a finance analyst. I've invested tens of thousands of pounds and time and effort, but I will never be scared to invest in myself. At 21, it's okay if you don't know what you're doing, as long as you're doing something. Every failed side hustle on my list was a prerequisite for the success I currently have. I'm a final year uni student who's made over £100,000 through content creation and executed over 50 brand deals. It didn't come from selling a product, it came from focusing on the person who I wanted to become. I now want to help creators leverage their passions the same way that I did. If you're a creator who wants my systems and resources for free, I'll put it in the description. Don't be afraid to pay the learning tax. The struggle is the best part. Thank you so much for watching, guys.